Greetings! In today's video, I will be talking about these markers. Now, we've seen similar markers before. This is a big box from Arrtx. This one has 60 markers in it. They're acrylic markers, and they come with the stickers to label them, and also little round stickers to, I think, put on the end. Yeah, on the butt of the markers. This is the little Arrtx card. There's a tray at the bottom, keeping them all tidy. I've worked with these before. They have a nice felt brush tip, and they're really fun to use. And I'm excited to try this specific set with this selection of color. It seems really nice. So I'll get to it. I'll get swatching, I'll label everything, and I'll be right back with my impressions and my demos and my swatches and everything. And I'm back with the big acrylic marker set. You don't really have to remember these because you just saw them, but yes, this is the 60 color set of markers. They're acrylic markers. I've labeled all of them with the stickers. The stickers have stayed put so far anyway, which I'm really glad. I remember one iteration of these where the stickers would slowly peel off the markers. They fixed that problem. I'm really glad. I love the addition of the identification number at the end of the pencils. That's really easy to reference. Now the pencils themselves are a bit wobbly in their casing, so I do appreciate that there's an insert in there. With the pencils, you could get these out and reorganize them however you want. They're really nice, they're really cool. Not really an issue, but my only observation is that they are quite mobile in the tray, so sometimes the order of colors kind of get a bit jumbled. Like, they are properly placed in the tray, but since they move a lot up top, they can get a bit confusing. Like, oh, where is this one? Is this one from this row or what row? But it's a really minor thing. It's not really something that would, affect the way you use these. And it was really nice to have this insert because it made it so much easier to put the pens back in their place and not have everything fall over. Like, if you pick up a bunch of them, the rest of them don't fall over in that empty space. So a really good design, a really interesting idea here. I love it. I had a fun time using these. I'm going to show you the swatches and what I painted with these, so let's put this aside. First, my swatches. I did some on black paper here, and I did some on this paper. This is a sketchbook from Arrtx, and it's a sort of multimedia sketchbook that works really well for their acrylic markers, so I'm happy with that. I prepared a sheet of little squares that I did in graphite, so that's why you see a sort of gray outline. All the colors didn't fit in one sheet, so I ended up using 2 sheets to fit all of these. This is the color selection. I think it's a really serviceable color selection. I don't have any complaints on this color selection. It was very functional and easy to use. The colors look really good on the white paper. On the black paper, it's more of a variation in terms of how they look, because the thing is if the element that makes the paint opaque is some added white pigment, that one tends to stay on the paper, and if the color comes from something more like a dye or a more transparent pigment, that tends to absorb in the paper. So the colors, like if it absorbs on white paper, it's not going to change much of anything, but if it absorbs on black paper, you can really see a difference. For example, this color number 28 here is a bright fire truck red, but over here it doesn't look the same on the black paper. So that's something to consider if you would use these on a darker base. Some colors are performing really well on the dark paper. So when you get to this C61 color here, hold on. There we go. The C61 here, the C61 here, that's a good performance on both colors. But yeah, other colors like this turquoise, teal, aqua, mint color, it looks quite different depending on the surface you use it. So that's something to keep in mind, and it's always worth it to do a test swatch before committing to any kind of project. I used the ones on white paper as reference when I was doing my demos. So again, I did my demo in this sketchbook as well. I quite like this paper for multimedia work. It's really nice, good smoothness, good opacity, like nothing transfers through. It's really nice, and you can easily remove pages like these that I was able to remove to use as reference. So here is my little demo drawing. To no one's surprise, it's a cat character. That's what I do. If you're here, you know that's what I do. I had a lot of fun sort of painting this with these. I tried a bunch of things. I tried how it would look with some overlaying colors. I tried cleaning up the edge of my sketch with some of the white acrylic marker here, and I tried to ink with the black one. The inking part was probably the most difficult part because my inking usually requires more of a fine tip and somewhat of a precise application of line work, and it was a bit difficult to do with the marker. Not impossible, but I had to be really cautious and careful and take my time. I think in the end it worked out, but yeah, if I had to do it again, I know that this would be the difficult step of the whole process. Painting all the elements and overlapping the colors and all of that went really smoothly. I really enjoyed it. It's always nice when you can work with any kind of medium and just enjoy the process. And this is what happened with these. Some colors that are a bit more transparent, like the tan color I use for the ground, I had to do like a couple of layers. That's fine, not really an issue. For some colors like the coat, I tried to do a 2-layer color. I put a bright red, no, that fire truck red, as a base color, and then I covered it with a brown color on top to try and get a mix. So I think I did the base layer with this one, and then I went with the 51 on it to kind of get a more muted color than it was originally, but to also have perhaps some slight, like some very light peaks of red throughout. The fact that these are acrylic and quite opaque means that you can come back and add white highlights on top of things. For example, the gem here, the eyes, and I did add I went back and forth with the lighter yellow colors on these little detail on the skirt, and I really had a good time with these. No complaints. I would say that the felt tips, they kind of look like they would wear out a bit quickly. I noticed, especially when I was inking with the black, like I didn't use the black for anything else, but it was a really conscious effort of control to keep the line from going too thick. But yeah, I really like their felt tip because it's a very serviceable shape in my opinion. You can go precisely with the tip, you can, define areas properly, but if you just dab it, you can get really interesting shapes like I got for the little details in the bush there and on the ground, like the little bits of grass. It's just basically just dabbing the tip, and I think that worked out well. I also did a few ornaments because I still have quite a few of these little wooden slices with gesso on them. So I did a few of the I have a bit of a story with the cat one. And it was a lot of fun. I noticed that if you paint something like this one, let's say, where you have colors that go next to one another, like the green and the red, if you don't let a color dry before adding one next to it, it's gonna kind of mix in a way that might not be very nice. In this case, it wasn't. I think it happened here with the detail, but I was able to cover it. It made kind of a brownish color, and it wasn't quite the effect I wanted. So really, if you want to have a precise delimitation of colors, you gotta wait for it to dry before you add more next to it or on top of it. That was one. Then I did this little ginger cat cookie guy. I did this, and then I was like, you know what? Every year we do a batch of gingerbread cookies for the holidays. It seems fitting that I would get a cookie cutter in this shape, basically a gingerbread man with cat ears, and it doesn't exist. I couldn't find any. You can find gingerbread man, you can find all sorts of cats, but you can't find a gingerbread cat. And I'm probably gonna have to, MacGyver something by adding little triangles to my cookie cutter shape of a gingerbread dude. But I was a bit disappointed in the universe for not having ginger cat cookie cutters somewhere out there. But yeah, and then I did some sort of little branch and kind of a star thing. And these all worked really well. No complaints. It was easy to layer the colors. The tips are fine enough that you can get some really nice details, like all the little dots on here. I hope you can see, but they're quite tiny and it was really easy to do. The only issue I think working on crafts like these is that this is a much rougher surface, so it would probably wear out the markers much faster if you do a lot of these. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed working with these. I think this is a great installment of this product. I really like this set. On the production side of things, it's a well-made box. You have all the colors easily accessible. My only thing would be, if you get these, make sure you store the box on the side so the markers are on the side. With any kind of markers, it's always a good idea to store them horizontally, because otherwise the ink in the barrel sort of pulls in one end and it can really affect how these work afterwards. This box is nice and compact, it's sturdy. I love the insert to keep the markers in their place. The colors themselves are really nice. I like the selection. Of course, with 60 colors you get a really interesting range of options, and I really enjoyed working with these. I think they worked out well. They let you have fun and let you be crafty, because you can use these on all sorts of surfaces. Not my first time using this product, but they still keep a really good quality with these. I'm happy with all the improvements, and I will definitely use these again in the future. So what do you think of these markers? I would love to read your thoughts in the comments. Have you tried these? What would you use these for? And also, let me know if you find some sort of ginger cat cookie cutter. I'm on the hunt for one now. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much, Arrtx, too, for sending me this set to try out. I had a really good time with these. And we will see each other in the next video. In the meantime, take care and bye-bye.